Harper here from MakingHealthyChoices.com, and today I am very excited to share with you what we have been doing with Meyer Lemons. Meyer Lemons are incredible. They are slightly sweeter than regular lemons, and they have a rind that is smoother and softer than regular lemons. They are really incredible, and this year we were blessed with an incredible Meyer lemon harvest. It was amazing. We were so grateful to be able to go and pick over 200 lemons from 2 organic Meyer lemon trees. 200 lemons. That's a lot of lemons. So obviously we had to come up with ways to use all of these lemons, and that's what this video is about. I'm going to share with you about 20 different ways that we have been using these lemons over the last weeks. There's only so many that you can use fresh, and then after that you have to come up with ways to use them. So I'm not going to go into too many details of the specifics of recipes in this video, but I will post links underneath this video. Okay, so the first thing that we did with these lemons is I made lemon bombs, which are, they're like little lemon balls, and they explode with lemon flavor, which is why I called them lemon bombs. I also made lemon bars and coconut lemon frosting to go on top of the bars. The next thing you can do with lemons is with the fresh lemon, you can dice it up really fine, add that right into your salads or any other dish that you're making. It adds this really amazing flavor, and the rind is not bitter at all. It has a really beautiful texture and flavor. Of course, every time you think of lemons, you'll think of lemonade. You know, the old saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And so that's something that we do all the time here. You can add in some frozen cherries, makes a cherry lemonade. You can add in some slices of fresh ginger, and that'll make a ginger lemonade. And really, you're only limited by your own creativity. If you don't want to use raw local honey, maple syrup is a nice option. Coconut palm sugar is also nice, so you can use any of those. The next thing that I love to do is to make a hot drink. And that is simply done by squeezing the lemon, and then in your mug of hot water, you'll add in lemon juice. And you can just do that, just lemon juice and hot water or warm water, and that's a beautiful drink. It's great when you're sick, not feeling so good, also great just on a daily, everyday basis. Another really nice thing I do is I make, I call them jar syrups. And this is where you will slice the lemon whole. So you take the fresh lemon, slice it up. You can leave the rind, leave the peel, put the entire lemon inside of a jar, sliced up. You can also add sliced ginger in here. In this particular one, I put ginger slices, cayenne pepper powder, I put cinnamon powder, whole cloves, I put star anise pods, and then I had the lemon that I sliced up fresh. You layer all of those ingredients in your jar, and then you fill the jar with honey, raw, local, unpasteurized honey, and put it in your fridge. Just let it sit for several days, several weeks, and what will happen is all of those things will infuse into the honey, and it creates a beautiful, medicinal, nourishing syrup. Now that syrup, you can take that right off the spoon, so great if you've got a sore throat or a cough. Or you can add a heaping spoon of the syrup and the solids into your mug and fill that up with hot water, and that makes another amazing hot drink that is really, really beautiful. Now, one of the other things that I do almost every day is I drink lemon water. So simply that is just juice of the fresh lemon added into water. Amazing, amazing way to hydrate your body, to cleanse your body, to make your body more alkaline. Really amazing thing to do for your health every day. I drink a great big glass of lemon water every single morning before I eat or drink anything else, and then I'm sipping on lemon water all throughout the day as well. One of the things we do is we freeze the lemon juice into ice cubes. So we use a juicer like this, and you'll just cut your lemon in half and then juice it in here. And then once you've got the lemon juice, then what we do is we put the lemon juice into ice cube trays. And I've got these silicone molds, and they're lemon juice right into the mold, and then put it into your freezer and let it freeze up. When it's frozen, then you pop it out of the mold, and then we've got bags and bags of lemon ice cubes in our freezer. And those lemon ice cubes are wonderful to use in your glass of water. So thaw out into lemon juice. So anytime you need lemon juice when you don't have the fresh lemons anymore, now you've got lemon ice cubes in the freezer that you can thaw them out at any time for lemon juice in any recipe that you need. Once you juice them, then you'll have these rinds left over. And I use the rinds as well. So when I'm using the rinds, I like to take out, there's these membranes that are inside. I like to take those out first, and you simply do that just by going along the inside. It comes off very easily with your, just using your fingernails. And then once you take out the membranes, then you've got just the nice clean rind. And with this rind, there's a lot of things you can do. So here's some of the rinds that are dry, and you can dry them in your dehydrator. So if you have a dehydrator like this, you can just put the lemon rinds on the tray and then let them dry like that. You can also let them dry out in the sun, or even just, if you live in a dry climate like I do, you can even just leave them out and on the counter and they will dry. Once they're dry, there's a lot of things that you can do with these. So you can take little pieces of the lemon rinds and add them to any herbal tea that you're making. So if you make your own herbal tea mixes, adding some lemon rinds is a beautiful way to benefit from the nutrients within the rind, and also adds an amazing flavor and an amazing smell. You can also, a big pot of water, put it on the stove and bring it to a simmer, and then I will add a whole bunch of these citrus peels right into the simmering water, and I will just let that simmer for hours on the stove. And what that does is it adds this beautiful scent of citrus into the air. It's an amazing type of air freshener. And because right now I'm living in the desert, this is also a really nice way to add moisture into the air. So that's another thing that you can do with the dried lemon peels. And then the other thing you can do is you can add these to vinegar. So get just plain old white vinegar, put the white vinegar in a glass jar and add a whole bunch of these peels in there, let it steep for about 2 weeks into the vinegar, and then strain it out. Bottle that vinegar into a spray bottle, and that is an all-purpose cleaner that you can use for countertops, for windows, for cleaning any surface in your home. And it's amazing. Vinegar is a beautiful cleaner in and of itself, and then adding the lemon peels, having that steep into the vinegar, just ups the quality of the cleansing power of the vinegar, and it has a beautiful smell as well. And then also what I do with the lemon rinds is I will put the dried lemon rinds into the blender and then powder them down. And that's what I've done here. This is all lemon rind powder. And this is incredible to add to smoothies. You can add this to salad dressings. If you're making those lemon bars that I mentioned earlier, you can add that to the recipe. Any sort of energy balls you're making. You can sprinkle it on top of salads. You can use this to rim a glass if you want to make a really fancy cocktail. There's so many ways you can use this, and it's beautiful as a gift too. So if you put it into a smaller jar, put a ribbon around it, this is a beautiful gift to give somebody. Very versatile. I mean, there's so many ways that you can use that. Just use your creativity with that one. Another thing that I will do is zest the lemons. And you get a zester, something like this, and then you just take your fresh lemon and run it along the zester, which is a fine grater, and that will take the zest off of the lemons. Now, lemon zest is incredible to add to so many dishes. There's tons of recipes out there that use lemon zest, and you can also dry that lemon zest. So once you've got the whole lemon zested, then just leave that zest. You can put it in your dehydrator and dry it, or you can just leave it out. And again, if you're in a drier climate, it will dry very quickly. Once it's dry, then you can just put it into little bottles and keep that for use as you move forward. Once the lemon powder and the lemon rind is powdered down, dried and powdered down, or the lemon rind is dried and bottled, these will last a very long time in your pantry. So you'll always have this to use. And again, this makes a beautiful gift. So put a nice little ribbon around a fancy bottle like that, and it's a beautiful gift you can give somebody. Lemon zest, the rind of these lemons, like I mentioned earlier, Meyer lemons have a slightly sweeter taste than regular lemons. So you can really use the zest in a lot of ways and the rind in a lot of ways. Okay, so then after you zest the lemon, then you're going to be left with the lemon that has no peel on it, and it'll have just the inner whiter pith coating on it. And what I did with those lemons are I cut those up into smaller chunks, and then I froze those into chunks. So these are whole lemon chunks that just have the zest missing. And these lemon chunks are fantastic to add into your smoothies. And that's what we do. Every morning when we make a green smoothie, we will add some of these, one or two of these chunks into there. Another great way to just get the benefits of the lemons into your body. Okay, then the next thing I did is preserving lemons. Now this is brand new for me. I've never done this before, so I'm excited to see how this will turn out. Preserving lemons is something that has been done in a lot of Middle Eastern countries, in Asian countries like Vietnam. This is something that this has been done for ages. So it's very simply just lemons that are soaking in either lemon juice, their own lemon juice, or they're soaking in a brine solution, which is a salt water solution. And then you bottle them in glass jars, and then you let them preserve in that solution for about a month or so. And after that, they take on an amazing flavor, a different kind of flavor, and you can use those preserved lemons in a lot of recipes. There's a lot of Middle Eastern, Moroccan recipes that use preserved lemons as an ingredient. You can make preserved lemon soda, which is something that is quite popular in Vietnamese cuisine. You can add them to stir fries, to soups, to a lot of things that you're making, and I'm sure you can find a ton of recipes online for that. In a month or so, when these are ready, I'm excited to experiment with a lot of other ideas that I'm going to use those for, and hopefully I'll be able to share a lot more with you then. The next thing I did is I made pepper sauce. And pepper sauce is amazing. This is something that it's a very, very spicy sauce that you can add to all sorts of things. When you're cooking dishes, or even in salad dressings, you can use this as a condiment on sandwiches or wraps, or on top of pizza or anything like that. Pepper sauce is very versatile. There is a link below to show you how to make pepper sauce, and this is amazing. It'll last for a very long time in your fridge. The ingredients in that are basically fresh peppers, whatever fresh hot peppers are in season, and then the lemons, the entire lemon with the pulp and the rind and everything, and apple cider vinegar and garlic blended up in the blender. That's basically what's in there. Also, what I did is I made candy, and this is really fun. And all I did for this is I sliced up the lemons, removed the seeds, and then I coated the lemons in coconut palm sugar and dehydrated them. And so you just, I have some here that are just drying right now, and it's very, very easy to make. The coconut, you can also do it with honey, raw, local honey. And if you're doing it with honey, it's the same way. So you just slice up the lemons and then coat them in either honey or raw coconut palm sugar, and then dry them out in your dehydrator. These are amazing. They're sweet and sour, and they taste just like candy. They're really incredible. The coconut palm sugar version will come out a little bit darker, and it has a sort of caramel flavor. If you do it in raw local honey, it will not be so dark. It'll stay more of that bright lemon yellow color, and it'll be a slightly different flavor. Both are amazing. And then the last thing that I did is I made hibiscus syrup using the lemons. And this is an amazing sweet syrup. It's a syrup that I simmered on the stove using, I used the fresh lemons with the rind. I also used lemon juice. I used hibiscus flowers. And I added a few other things in there, like ginger and clove and star anise. And I let that simmer on the stove until it reduced down into a thick liquid, and then I sweetened it with, this particular one I sweetened with raw local honey, and then I bottled it. Now this syrup is incredible to use to make, what we've been doing a lot is making a drink out of it, sort of a soda. So what I do is I put about that much of the hibiscus syrup, the hibiscus lemon syrup, into the bottom of a glass, fill it up with half sparkling water, half regular water, and that makes this incredible sparkling drink that is an amazingly nourishing alternative to soda. There's so many ways you can use this. So that's it. That was very quickly about 20 different ways to use Meyer lemons. You know, there was one thing that I did forget to show you, and that is freezing the lemon rinds. And this is another, I mentioned about using the lemon rinds in salad, but when you don't have the fresh lemons and you want to still use them, what you can do is freeze them. And the way you do that is take the lemon rind and then with a knife, dice it up into small pieces. And once you have it diced up into small pieces, then what I did is I laid it out onto a plate like that. And then I put that plate in the freezer and let these freeze up. Once they were frozen, then I just put them into a little bag. And now I've got these frozen lemon rinds in the freezer. And those are fantastic when you no longer have fresh lemons on hand. You can grab a handful of those frozen lemon pieces, the frozen lemon rind pieces, and sprinkle that right on top of your salad or any dish that you're making that you want to use those in. Okay, so I think that's it. I think I've covered, that was about 20 different ways that we use lemons. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it inspired you for ways to use lemons, Meyer lemons especially. And I look forward to seeing you again soon on the next video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a beautiful lemony fresh day, everyone.